Today I'm going to be sharing how we can share God's gospel efficiently, effectively, and with humility, love, and respect towards other people. Because sharing the gospel is a very important thing if you're a Christian. We need to share the gospel with every single living thing and with every single human being on this earth, so people can know about this truth and this love, so they can get to experience what we experience as Christians: God's love, God's forgiveness, and everything that God has to offer. We need to explain to them God's plan for salvation. So that is why it is really important to share God's gospel and share the plan of salvation that God has for absolutely everyone. So I'm going to give you a few steps on how we can do this. The first step is to really understand the gospel for yourself. So what I would recommend doing is grabbing a very good Bible translation. This could be the ESV version, the NLT version, any version that is very easy to understand for you. And read the gospel and really understand it for yourself. If you don't really understand the gospel, I did a video on it a few days ago. You can also use Bible commentaries to really get a good understanding of the gospel, so you can teach it to other people, because that is really important. The second step is to share with love and respect. So do not share with hatred. Do not share with bad intent. We should share with love and respect. We should show love to others. We should show respect to others while sharing the gospel. Because if we don't show love towards other people, then it's going to be impossible to share it with other people and to have people come to Christ if we don't share it with love and respect. So us as Christians, we need to share God's gospel with love and respect and humility, kindness, and respect towards every single human being that we can get to. The third step is we should not judge others and criticize other people. Instead of doing things like judging people, criticizing people on YouTube, if you're preaching about the gospel on YouTube, we should focus to spread the gospel with love, humility, and the things that I just said. So we should not do this. If you're doing this online, this means avoiding harsh criticism, insults, or shaming people in videos or comments. So do not shame people. Do not make judgments towards people. Do not criticize them, because vengeance is the Lord's, vengeance is not yours. So instead of focusing on judging people, criticizing people, we should focus on spreading God's gospel, because that is what actually truly matters. Not to criticize, not to judge, but to share God's gospel, which is the most important thing to do, because we want to bring as many people to Christ as possible, because the end is near. The end is very near, closer than we think. We need to share God's gospel to everyone we can get to, because on that day of judgment, it's going to be very sad when people do not know about God's gospel and they're thrown into the lake of fire. We need to share God's plan of salvation instead of criticizing, making judgments about people. Okay? Because vengeance is only the Lord's. Now, I would recommend praying before starting a sermon. This is really important. When you're about to give a sermon about the gospels to some people online or in real life, we should always pray before we give out that sermon. Pray that God gives you the strength to speak to people's hearts and bring people to Christ. Tell God to help you to plant the seed in many people, and tell God to help you bring as many people as possible to Him.